It's time to turn this NES Coffee Table into a bar table with bar stools. Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, Lithium here from my channel Nintendo Collecting. I've had this coffee table for 8 years at least. It doesn't really work well in the Nintendo room anymore because I have a new updated version of the NES Coffee Table. So let me just take you over to that one to show you why I'm going to do a project with the other one. This is the updated NES Coffee Table. I have shown it off in my room tours previously. I want to do a new room tour, by the way, sometime in November, so stay tuned for that. So this updated NES Coffee Table, I really like it because this one's a little bit bigger. It fits in this space nicely. There is storage underneath. You can see an additional GameCube right there and all the remotes. But it also is a lift coffee table. So this comes up, and then I have tons of storage in this with my N64 kit of memory cards, some zappers, the NES like bazooka larger gun, the Super Scope, and then all these other cords and accessories that kind of makes it look like a mess. Originally there was no piece in the middle, so I added that to it. So this coffee table is definitely far superior than my previous one. The other one at some point, I actually tried selling it. I had an offer, we agreed to terms and everything, and then the sale just kind of fell through. Comment below if that's ever happened to you before, because I really don't like when that happens. So this is still kicking around in my collection. A lot of you have been suggesting what I should do with this space. First of all, I do really like the space over here. I don't think I want to have a table in front of these chairs. I kind of want to keep this as a little bit of a walkthrough. There is the secret door there into the furnace room as well. So 2 chairs here, maybe with some sort of table in between them, probably not with the Virtual Boy on it. Maybe like a Game Boy table right in between the two, so maybe I'll work on that sometime later. These 2 red chairs are paired with the 2 CRT TVs that you see right here. There's an extra monitor down there for now, which I'm not sure what to do with. I probably won't keep that there at all. And then I have a TV higher up here, and a lot of you are saying, like, that's way too high up. It's meant to be so high so that if you're doing games table or something like that over here with the bar table, or with the Pokeball table, or even with the poker table with all those chairs, I just don't think those fit over here. You have to be able to see over people's heads, so that's why I wanted to have a TV up a little bit higher, and that's how I designed this space, and that's why I picked up this bookcase. This is a Besta bookcase, by the way. Okay, so back to this table right here where the video started. This doesn't really fit very well. It has a wooden base, there's no real storage for it or anything, and like I said, I tried to sell it, and then it just didn't work out. It's well loved, so it'd be the perfect kind of table to turn into a bar table. I'm probably going to try and patch it up a little bit in the coloring, but mainly if you look at this base, it's a wooden base that kind of looks really awful in the Nintendo room. It doesn't really work. So when I flipped it over, there are screws attaching the top base of the table, which is wood, to the bottom of it, and then I'm just going to take legs from Ikea over there, which I'll show you in a moment, and I'm going to mount them to this and then use bar stools. I have 4 bar stools here, and then I have a 5th one over there. The bar stools, I got really lucky, just quickly to talk about those. I paid, I think it was like $75 US, $100 Canadian for all 5 of them. They aren't in mint condition, but they're definitely going to do for what I need for now, and if I want to upgrade them, I can in the future, and they're definitely red. They perfect Nintendo red. The legs for this project, these are called OLOV, I believe. You can make them higher or lower. So right here you can twist basically and then tighten them, and I really like how you have the different dimension here. I think the bar table, I'm not sure, I'm going to measure it out and let you know how tall it will be. A normal table is around 30 inches, so it's probably going to be like 36 inches, maybe to 40 inches, something like that, and of course these chairs here are lift. So the legs themselves, I bought 2 of them secondhand for $10, so $5 each, which was great. At Ikea, they're like double or triple that price. And 2 of them I had previously from my desk that I was using years ago as well. This table itself, for the cost of the project, I think it was like $20 at some point for the coffee table, so it wasn't that much, and then I designed it and painted it myself. If you want to do this, I do have a video. I'll put a card in the top right-hand corner of how to make your own NES coffee table. I have a thorough guide, basically, but essentially, you take a wooden table, you prime it with white, then you put your layers of paint on it after you design it, and then I printed some of these like buttons, and I'm going to glue them down and then urethane over top of it several times. And it looks really good. The dimensions of this is a little bit off. So I'm now going to use my drill. I'm going to unscrew the base, and then I'm going to, I guess, flip it upside down, drill holes as well, because I do have right here, I'm using 3/4 metal screws to actually mount the legs to the table, and I'm going to see which one I think I need to use 1/8 right here, probably to screw the holes in the bottom of the table. So I'm going to do that right now, and then I'll come right back. Boom, it's dismounted. This is the underside of the table itself, and this is the base. The base I'm probably just going to maybe put up for sale for maybe like $10 or $20 locally. Someone might take it. If not, I'll just put it to the curb on the day that I can get rid of furniture. So the base here, I have already drilled the holes. What I did was I took the legs, I put them at least 1 inch from either corner, and then I put a little X marks the spot. You remove this, and then you drill down into the wood, but I don't want to go through to the bottom. So a quick trick that I learned from my dad, and anyone probably knows this that does any sort of construction, I did use this one right here when I did it. Put some tape around it just to stop it so you don't go too far into the wood and go through the bottom of the table, because that would completely destroy the entire project. So I did put wood around this, and I drilled the holes for it. So now I'm going to use the drill, and I'm going to mount the legs. X marks the spot, so definitely do pilot holes first. Now I can put the legs in the right spot, and then I'm going to use the drill, obviously, and put these in. I could just use a screwdriver if I need to, but it's a lot easier and a lot more effective, time effective, if you use a drill. So let's put on the legs next. Here is the final result, and I'm very pleased with how this worked out. I think the black legs work really well with this design. What I decided for this is I put it up to 35 inches tall because this is actually going to be multi-use. It could be over here, and it works really well actually in this space, kind of as this like bar side of the Nintendo room. We've got 2 nice kind of pleather leather chairs with the CRT TVs. Also like a bar table, at least for 4 people, even though I have that 5th chair I could use if I wanted to. The TV overlooking, so it's high enough that you can like look over other people. I could always turn this the other way. Not only that, but when it's a bar table, you don't need as much space to walk by because most of the chair actually sits like underneath the table. The lower the table, you need more space to walk by, but the higher the table, you need less space to walk by. So this fits here really, really well. I'm going to use this for many different purposes though, so it's not necessarily going to end up here for the room tour for its final home. I really do like the idea of taking the Pokeball table and perhaps putting it in the Pokemon kind of handheld room. It also fits here really nicely. And then I have the Pokewall right there. It's coming. I'm going to eventually move everything over. And over here will be the handhelds. So it might make more sense in the long run to have the Pokeball table here, but this fits really well here. You can walk by, even when there's going to be shelves behind it. I don't think it's going to be blocking the view that much because it's such an open kind of table design. So it could go here. I could also move it over to where the Pokeball table is. I think it would look really good there as well. It makes a bit more sense to keep it here because the TV is here, but it's not really necessary. So I do think this could go there. Or, for a last thought, during Mario-thons and Zelda-thons, it could fit very nicely over here behind the couch when all of this is kind of gone and moved away, because the Nintendo Power magazines are going over there, the handhelds are going in the other room. This, I don't think I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep the table here, this one, the green one and the wood one, in the Nintendo room. A lot of you are commenting it just doesn't quite fit the theme. I agree with you, so maybe I just keep the top of it, and when we want to play a board game or poker, we can just put the top, because it is movable. I'll just show you, it just like comes right off right there. I could just keep that top piece and put it on the Pokeball table when we want to play a card game or poker or things like that, and otherwise put it in storage, and then use all these chairs with my Super Mario Bros. 3, what I'm using as a desk right now, but that will be a table, and then I'll put my Super Nintendo desk that I'm still working on here. One other reason why I made the table height 35 inches for the bar table is because the height of this couch is exactly 35 inches. So when I put it behind here, maybe with the 4 or the 5 chairs, then I can have up to 10 people, 5 on couches, 5 at the bar table, and we can all be participating in the Mario-thons and Zelda-thons, especially if I put a screen up here as well, like a larger one. These people can maybe be playing a multiplayer Mario game, or like 4 Swords Adventures for Zelda multiplayer, or anything like that, Mario Party, Smash Bros. Mario Kart, any sort of multiplayer game on the bar chairs. So let me know what your thoughts are. I think it looks really, really good. What's next for me is to decide where this will ultimately go. And maybe I do a little bit of a touch-up on this, because originally the paint on the outside I mixed myself. I couldn't find the exact color, and there are some paint chips that I do want to touch up. But, I mean, it's already a little bit damaged. If we're going to be using it for drinks anyways, it's probably better that I don't care too much about the condition of it. It's well loved and it makes a lot of sense. Also, let me know what your thoughts are. 4 chairs or 5? Let me just put down one more chair. The thought would be it would probably go on the end on this side. Let me just raise up the chair. It's nice that we have that option. I don't know if it looks that good here. It kind of blocks off the space. You wouldn't be able to see the TV. So if I were to use the 5th chair, I think it would probably ultimately go on this side, and it even fits quite nicely. It just can't go underneath. It's a little bit too wide. So let me know, what do you think? 4 chairs, 5 chairs, should it go here? Should it possibly go over here and move the Pokeball table over to the other side of the room? Or should it go behind the couch? There's lots of possibilities, and the actual last possibility is to take the leg height, which is 35 inches, and go all the way down to the shortest possible leg height, and I can still use this as a coffee table in front of these 2 chairs, but I kind of like having the gap in this space. Makes more sense if I ever want to get to my furnace behind that secret door, and if I treat the space over here as a walkway through, then I definitely want to have the walking space and not a table kind of in your way. Can't wait to put like a Game Boy table there. So again, let me know your thoughts. I'm pretty pleased with the way that this worked out. Definitely useful to take something that I had lying around, turn it into something new, but it does look good in this space. I think having 2 NES controllers is kind of a cool idea. It's like player 1, player 2, with the other one that's over here, but the dimensions are different, so it's kind of nice that the one is farther away from the other. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear your suggestions. It's great to have your advice and grow the table, the room, everything with this expansion, with everyone, with your advice. So what is next for me is taking all of the handheld systems that are over there behind the chairs and putting them on these 3 shelves, and taking the NES and Super Nintendo stuff and putting them over here so that I can eventually start filling all these shelves with the collection and everything that has to happen. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to fill that like bucket, follow me on all the social media links in the description below the video, and remember, as always, keep smiling while gaming, go collect them all. Thank you so much for watching.